Yo, the Raiders are back on track. We went into Meadowlands. We beat the Jets. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty. It was a last-second victory, but Carr connected with Ruggs, and we got it done. The Raiders are now 7-5, and we're on to the Colts. Let's get it.
Candy cake, real talk.
What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back. And isn't it good to talk about a win again? I mean, we had the loss to the Chiefs, we had the loss to the Falcons, and we come back and we beat the Jets. And it was a game that should have been a blowout. It should have been a bigger win by every margin possible. However, you know the Raiders and how the Raiders operate, and it was typical Raider fashion. Game's over. We're on to the next. Let's talk about this Colts team. This Colts team coming into Las Vegas is a very, very good team. And this is a team that's going to be competing for a playoff spot as well. These next couple games are games that we have to win. Now, the Raiders seem to always be in that must-win category where the Raiders have to win this game. The Raiders have to win that game. And that's the torture it is of being a Raider fan. But what we're looking at as Raider fans is we have a Colts team that we beat this Colts team. It puts us up into another spot for the playoff race. So we have to look at each game at a time. And this is a team that we've had success against in the past, but this is also a team that's a very good team. Look at this team and what they've got. They've got a really, really good defense, and they've got a pretty good offense that can move the ball. They have a quarterback who, while he cries a lot and talks a whole lot of mess, he's still pretty good. But he's a guy that can get flustered easily, and you can get under his skin. They've got a pretty good stable of running backs. They've got a good receiving core. They've got some pretty decent tight ends. And that defense, man, I mean, that front line on the defensive line is one of the most formidable lines in the National Football League. You got DeForest Buckner, who is at 6'7", playing a 3 technique. It's unheard of. And he's out there dominating. So Gabe, Rodney, and Denzel are going to have their hands full that day. But this is a team that can be beat. You know, this isn't a team that's otherworldly. This isn't a team that's out of this world. This isn't a team that nobody can beat. This is a team that is beatable. But the Raiders have to play Raider football. And they don't have to. I'm not talking about Raider football against the Jets. I'm not talking about Raider football against the Falcons. I'm talking about Raider football when they line up against the Chiefs, when they line up against the Broncos, when they line up against the Chargers. They line up in games that have meaning, because now we're getting into these meaningful games, and every single game means something. And the Raiders have to come after it. So I know I talked a little bit about this Philip Rivers character, right? This guy who, for the past 17 years or so, he was the quarterback of the San Diego/Los Angeles Chargers. We know him very well. We know his tantrums very well. We know that he doesn't cuss, but he talks a whole lot of shit. He's got 50,000 kids, and he has been sunned by Eric Harris recently. Philip Rivers is a guy that we have to get after. He's a guy that, he's a good quarterback when things are going right. When things are not going right, he gets flustered and he starts making mistakes. And the Raiders have to force him to make mistakes. And I'm going to get into that later. But first, I want to look at this Colts team. I want to talk about this Colts team. Because whereas I don't normally hate teams outside of the AFC West, you know, aside from the Patriots and obviously the Steelers and stuff like that, but I don't normally hate teams outside the AFC West. I don't really hate teams outside the NFC. I don't really hate that many football teams. But Colts, man, I hate y'all. And let me tell you why I hate y'all. First and foremost, you ruined my Christmas in 2016. Yeah, y'all ruined my Christmas 2016. Christmas Eve, we're beating the Colts. We're having a game. Derek Carr's lighting it up. Should have been pulled from the game. I blame Jack Del Rio, but I blame the Colts because they broke his leg. So I hate y'all for breaking Derek Carr's leg. Colts, I hate y'all because y'all got Denico Autry, and he's playing really well right now. I hate the Raiders for letting him go, too. Colts, I hate y'all because you got Philip Rivers. And I hate Philip Rivers. So you're guilty by association. You got that smack because you with him. I hate y'all because you're y'all. I hate y'all because y'all invited Mike Pence to a football game and he walked out because players were taking a knee to racial oppression. I mean, come on, man. You know I'm gonna hate that. I hate y'all because you booed Andrew Luck when he retired. After he gave you his all. I mean, that dude gave you everything. The Colts, I didn't want to hate y'all, but y'all made me do it. So now we got to beat y'all. Here's how we're going to do it. All right, Raider Nation, here are the keys to victory. The Raiders have to play solid 4 quarters of football. This isn't the Jets. This isn't an 0-11 team. This isn't a team that's just going to let you come in there and do whatever you want with them. This is a team that can get up on you early. This is a team that can run the football very well. They can move the football very well through the air, and they can stop plays defensively. So first and foremost, the Raiders have to reestablish the running game. These past couple weeks, the running game has been non-existent. It was non-existent in Atlanta, and it was non-existent in New York. The Raiders have to reestablish the running game. Josh Jacobs looks to be back this week, which is nice. Trent Brown is practicing in full. He's not on the injury report. He's been in practice. They expect to have him back. That's huge because Trent Brown adds a whole nother dimension to that offensive line. He adds a whole nother dimension to the blocking scheme. He pushes that line down the field. He makes it easier for Josh Jacobs, for Devontae Booker, for Theo Riddick, for Jalen Richard to move the ball as they're running. So the Raiders have to establish that run because when you establish that run, it takes me to my next key. You open up the pass. We saw Henry Ruggs get a little more involved. And now Henry, obviously, he had a pass that was deflected off his hands, became an interception. It was a high throw, whatever, short memory, whatever. He had a fumble, but then he came back and caught the game winner. Darren Waller was lights out. Darren Waller could not be stopped, 200 yards. It's a tight end, 2 touchdowns. Give that man his flowers. He's a top 3 tight end, and it's not 3. But you got to open up the passing game. When you establish the run, it's easier to pass the ball because now they have to prepare for both. If you can't establish the run, they know you're going to pass, and they can prepare for the pass. So establish that run, then get the passing game started. Now, I like that we got Henry Ruggs involved. I want to see Bryan Edwards get involved a little bit more. Bryan Edwards, I think, is going to be the key to some big plays, and I want to see Bryan Edwards get involved more. My third key, and this is a big key. This is a major key. This is like DJ Khaled says, this is a major key. You have to stop the run on defense. Defensively, you have to stop the run. The defensive line is getting after it a little bit more. They're getting after the quarterback. The pass rush is getting a little bit better. Cleveland Farrell came back last week, had himself a game. Did well against the run, but as I was watching film, I'm watching guys get rolled up. I'm watching guys get pushed back. I'm watching guys get bullied up front. You can't get bullied up front. You can't get beat up front. When your defensive linemen are getting pushed back into the linebackers, that messes up your defense. That allows them to get 4.7, 5.2, 6.5, 20 yards. You got to stop the run. And take out the under routes in the passing game. The Raiders are doing a pretty good job covering the deep routes, but they got to get those underneath routes. But first and foremost, stop that run. And that's the biggest key. That is the major key. Stop the run. Because if you stop the run, then you force Phillips to throw. And when you force Phillips to throw, you get in his head. And when you get in Phillips' head, that's when he starts turning the ball over. Raider Nation, hope you love these videos because I love making them. Let's go out there Sunday. Let's get a win. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. And make sure you hit that bell notification. Also, if you guys haven't seen, I got new t-shirts out. I got the Real Talk tee and I have the I Hate Y'all shirt. The link will be in the description. Check it out. If you guys want it, boom. The winner of the hat was announced in the comments of the last video. It's Mike D. Mike D chose Darren Waller. He was the first person to pick Darren Waller, so he was the one that won the hat. That hat is being shipped out to him. I'm going to have some more contests coming up later. I got those shirts in, so stay tuned. I'm going to have some more contests for that. But hey, guys, let's get it, Raiders.